Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. It's time to talk to our guy Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro at the BLEAV Network one final time before the end of the NFL season. But don't fret. We'll talk to our guy Bolt probably throughout the year when all the big golf majors happen, all these other big events that we could talk about in the world of gambling. But, sir, good to hear from you. How are you?
What's happening, fellas? And I'll come on for March Madness, too.
Yes, absolutely. We got March Madness right around the corner. I forgot about that. Any specific school you're looking at right now that a favorite?
No, I started to watch basketball, college basketball, a little bit closer now since football's winding down. But once football's officially over, that's when I drill it in.
Yeah, no, I'm the exact same way. I hear Arizona's doing very well. I'm excited to see what the Wildcats can do, but I'm a USC fan at heart, so there's a little bit of biases there at all times. So I won't lie on that one.
I've got a USC Super Bowl fact for you.
Oh, what do we got?
So Drake May went to Carolina, right? Yes. Darnold went to USC.
Yes.
It's both schools' first time having a starting quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And USC's had 26 drafted quarterbacks, but this is the first starter.
I have heard the USC factoid. I didn't really consider North Carolina, but then again, I've made this point on the show a couple times. There's not been a whole ton of great football players come out of North Carolina, so the comparison's not very fair. But you're right, 26 different quarterbacks. I mean, is USC still, in your mind, the one school in college ball that's kind of cursed at that position? Because it doesn't seem like any of them really come out and do well.
I know, it's crazy too, because they get a lot of the recruits from Southern California.
Yes. I mean, now don't get me wrong, Caleb can change that, and it looks like Sam can also change that now. But you look down the line, I mean, Carson Palmer was great, but not necessarily Super Bowl winning. Matt Leinart never really got a shot. John David Booty and all the rest of them never really got off the ground. The last one that maybe had a shot outside of Sam was Matt Barkley.
Right. Yeah, it's a hard position.
Definitely. Absolutely. But what we got for the game itself, my friend, I see a 4.5-point spread right now favoring Seattle.
Yeah, it's 4.5. It's been there pretty much the entire time. I mean, I'm sure it's been beaten to death, that New England's played this really easy schedule the entire year. And I was skeptical too, but taking a closer look into it, let's not forget the Patriots back when Tom was there. They would have an easy schedule too with the AFC East. That was a total joke.
Yeah, it's true. At times they had to play Buffalo, which was an easy win 2 times a year. Miami was definitely the next best team, but it usually got split every single season.
Yeah, they had to pull a Wildcat here and there every once in a while to beat them, or the Miami Miracle. I mean, there was times.
At least you got the Miami Miracle out of it.
That's why Eli Manning should be in the Hall of Fame, because he saved us.
Yes,
one year.
And then the Jets, of course.
Yeah, yes, of course. And the Jets will always be the Jets. But is this the resurgence for the Patriots? Are we going to see the dynasty back after this?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins, but I'll be taking New England in the 4.5.
Are you? Okay.
Yep.
What makes you feel like they're going to cover this spread a little bit? Because, I mean, both quarterbacks are dealing with injuries from what we understand. Do you think Drake May's shoulder is not as bad as they're claiming?
Well, I saw they were pointing out when he hopped off the plane, like he was carrying his bag, his luggage with the shoulder that was supposed to be hurt. And I tend to agree with the person that mentioned, if it was really that bad, would he be carrying his luggage in that hand?
True.
And I don't think so.
True.
A lot's been said about Seattle's defense, and they allow 17.1 points per game, but New England's 17.3. I just think New England's kind of flying under the radar a little bit here.
And they've beaten plenty of great teams to get to this point. I would assume that they shake off that, they didn't play anybody throughout this year moniker, because I mean, beating the Texans in Denver alone really should just give them the credit they deserve, in my opinion.
I totally agree. And the Chargers defense is pretty good as well. I mean, it's just, at what point do we start giving them credit?
Never.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. Is nobody wants to.
But no, I will probably back that up, because it is the Super Bowl. There's a reason that these two teams are in it. They fought their ways in their own little paths. But we did have a listener question asking about the total points, and if you would feel more about the over or under.
Yeah, I tend to think that this is going to be low scoring. That there's actually another prop bet that I have that's associated with that. I kind of mentioned before last week, teams really start off slow in the
Yes.
Super Bowl. They just don't want to make the mistake. They do it even with the best quarterbacks like Patrick and Tom Brady. So I really think they're going to do that here with the two of these guys. They've never been there, obviously. Another prop that I like is any team to score 30 plus, and I say no, minus 150. I just don't think there's going to be much scoring in this.
What do you think the score will end up being? Are you thinking 28-21, somewhere in that area?
No, I think it's going to be tough for a team to get over 20, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
you think this will be one of those low scoring games like we saw between the Patriots and the Rams a couple years ago?
The 13-3.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the final score was, 13-3. I was trying to think. I thought it was 10-3, but yeah.
I think more around like 20-17. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I expect this to be a close game, but the defensive minded head coaches do kind of make me think that you're right on this one. Do you think 45.5 is just Vegas knowing something the rest of us don't, though?
Well, I mean, they base those numbers on statistics, right? They just kind of crunch the numbers and say this is what they've averaged, and they come up with it. They also probably tend to shade it a little bit higher as well because they know the majority of the people are going to take the over because most people like to see points.
True.
So they're going to shade it a little bit higher normally. I just, the other route that you could take is like it's under 10 for the first quarter. The first quarter just historically is just really slow.
Yeah.
With
points, low points. And that usually probably would be the best bet. I did see we had a listener earlier in the week that was talking about that it actually moved. I guess when the Super Bowl was actually set, they had Seattle with 3.5, and he was comfortable with that. And then they jumped over to 4.5, and he's like, that is just a little too close for me. I personally think it'll be something like 28-24. So I'm staying away from the points. But I'm also we've been talking about this, for 2 weeks, and it is so crazy about how similar these teams are.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's tough defenses, they both have quarterbacks that could go, but it all goes through the running backs, which I think it's going to come down to which running back, whether it's Walker or Stevenson, and obviously, like most Super Bowls, what turnover is going to change this whole game. And I mean, I'm playing it safe this year. I'm going Super Bowl squares and maybe a couple prop bets, but I don't know which team is going to edge it out, and I think it's going to be close.
Is there any prop bets you're looking at for specific players? I know you said Jackson Smith and Jigby last week, but is there anything else that you've kind of highlighted?
Yeah, JSN, last week said under his yardage, and also Darnold under his passing yardage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other prop that I'm looking at is any team to score 30 plus, no, minus 150. But I'll reiterate that, you want to take prop bets that are yes, no, or over under, because let's take the coin flip, for example. You guys mentioned the coin flip. The coin flip is a 50-50 shot, right? So your odds really should be plus 100. That's a 50-50 shot. And you'll notice they'll make it like minus 105. So you'd have to win 51.2% of the time to come out profitable there. Well, it's supposed to be a 50-50 bet. So that's how the books, they'll always be profitable on the Super Bowl now that they have these props bet.
How do they shift that, though, from being a 50-50?
That's just their little, quote unquote cut, and so that's what they do with all of these, the MVP, all of those awards, predict the exact score of the game, all of that. Like that stuff you really should stay away from it.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That's why I had a head scratcher there. Cause like you said, it's a coin flip. It's always 50-50.
The house got to get their cut.
Apparently.
And I was looking at the MVP, the odds, and they have Drake May,
naturally,
Kenneth Walker, and I didn't see Darnold on the list.
Of course not. They don't believe in Sam. No one believes in Sam.
I do.
I believe in Sam. Before we let you go, my friend, any predictions on the league MVP that'll be giving out tonight? Do you think it goes to Stafford, or is it going to go to Drake?
Wow, that's a tough one, because I thought if Stafford won, it would be over with for sure with him.
Right.
I think they'll probably go Stafford. They probably figure the young Buck's got some more years left in him.
That's what I think too. The league will look at it and say Stafford's on his way out. This is his first MVP, and honestly, it is his last chance or one of his last chances to get it. So I think they give it to him. Do you think that gives Drake a little bit of a fire under his butt though to win the Super Bowl MVP?
I think he's probably pretty stoked just going in, being in the Super Bowl right now.
Honestly, hearing all the audio, I mean, this guy has got to be one of the most humble starting quarterbacks I've heard in quite some time. Like, I don't think he said anything bad about anybody in his life.
I know, it's refreshing.
It really is. But at the same time, it makes me sick in a way, Bolt. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. Well, sir, thank you so much for your time. As always, we really appreciate it. And we will talk to you in March.
Take care, fellas.
Thanks, man. Let's take a break real quick.